This is Iron Man.
I was going to say, you're giving off when he's like, can everyone just sit down?
Just have a seat.
He's sitting and he's like,
I haven't had a cheeseburger in 2 months.
burger. It's actually 3 burgers, or 3 months.
Burger King product placement.
Yeah. Back when they were good.
He's like, can I have a delicious double flame broiled Whopper with all the fixins? And he eats it and he's just like, it's like a beautiful commercial. It's like, oh. Like that puffer fish thing.
Oh.
Anyway, this is Binge Warmers. My name is Will.
Oh, is this the intro?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, it's pretty chill, huh? Welcome back.
Just out of frame.
I know. Welcome back. Yeah, this is Binge Warmers.
Yeah.
Like we said, we're going to be doing some other things. We've talked about it a couple times now, but
sort of
this
a breaking
episode,
format for us.
we recently watched the Iron Man trilogy.
We, in our daily lives, will do a binge of shows, and it's sometimes to our detriment. Like, we'll watch the...
Movies, not shows.
Well, we
Idiot.
haven't really binged a show yet, I guess,
Dumb
but...
ass.
It made me burp as you offended me.
Nice. On camera. This is candid.
Didn't know you would chill like that.
It was so awful.
It was white is what it was.
Yeah, it was. Hey, you know.
Anyway, so
I have a vitamin D deficiency. What are you talking about?
You want some vitamin D, baby?
I walked into that one.
You're about to walk into this. Anyway.
We have like a tradition where we all hang out and we watch.
I think it started with Harry Potter, but we never finished the Harry Potter ones.
Finished Harry Potter because I lived 2 hours away at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
So it was rough.
What's the first 4?
No, we got to literally
ones.
6.
It's only 2 more.
I know, and we never finished it.
Well, we'll have to restart it when we finish it next time.
But we've done so many movies. We try to get together every Friday or every other Friday.
It's
just a series.
During the summer, it was a lot more
a lot easier.
regular.
Yeah.
But I used to have a job where I had bad hours, so it was hard to
you
get
gotta
together.
get bad hours now, and the fact that you just get home so late.
Yeah.
Hard to start, because we want to watch Pirates. Pirates is 5 movies, 2 hours long a piece. Yeah. I think we got to start moving them to Saturdays or something.
Sundays, perhaps, after church.
We digress. Because of that, we have an Iron Man video.
Yeah, we just out of nowhere decided to watch Iron Man.
Yeah,
so
great trilogy.
Pretty good trilogy. I think
2's the weakest, but even saying that, it's pretty strong.
There's elements of 3 that I don't like, but as a whole, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
The first one, phenomenal.
Yeah, nothing wrong.
Well, it's
well,
we can talk about it, but
coming back.
The criticism that they get is the Ironmonger, the main villain of the film. He's sort of lame as villains go, especially Well, no, not especially for MCU. As far as MCU villains go, he's fine.
He's pretty cool.
I think he's better than 90. He's better than 70% of the MCU schlock villains.
I don't think we're gonna do structure with this. We're just gonna talk about the
just talking about it. Yeah.
So, but Obadiah played as Jeff Bridges.
I do like him.
The bald head, the beard. He's 6'2", 6'3".
I like that he's got a weird mechanical poisoning device that paralyzes you somehow. It's just he puts his little earphones in and he's fine from it, but for some reason it knocks out everyone else. It's such a goofy comic book thing to have, a villain thing, weapon, I guess. But
it kind of fits though, because he's in the whole movie, he's in the shadows in the background, and that's totally a non-flashy way.
He wasn't involved in Tony's parents' death, was he?
No, he wasn't, because that was planned by we'll watch. You'll see it in Winter Soldier and the
obviously
Civil War
spoilers
stuff.
for
all of this will be spoilers, but I mean they've been out since the third one came out in 2015, 2014,
2013. I think it was right after the Avengers.
Yeah, so it came out pretty quick.
It did really well because it was the next one after the Avengers, I think.
Yeah,
I think it topped $1 billion just out of nowhere. It was a $1 billion movie.
We'll do it.
But yeah, no, Iron Man as a character, I think, is the biggest takeaway from these movies.
Yeah, Robert Downey, I wouldn't say single-handedly, but he is a big reason that the MCU exists as it does right now.
Him coming in the Incredible Hulk, I remember that was a huge thing for people.
Props to Kevin Feige too. No disrespect, Kevin Feige's vision.
He's the Obadiah of the whole thing.
But they needed someone. Kevin Feige can put it together, but
without
actors like Robert Downey, you're not getting this thing off the ground.
Well, it's so crazy, and it's hard to wrap your head around where the MCU is now from where it started, humble beginnings.
And that's a thing that we realized rewatching it, how grounded, how different. Just phase 1 in general of Marvel was. Just like
a good, well-made film first.
Yes.
And then
first and foremost.
And you kind of see that with Iron Man 2, where it's we're setting up Avengers, so we got to put in the Black Widow, we got to put in Nick Fury, we got to do all this stuff. But it's not it doesn't really feel like it's out of place that much.
No, because even then, it kind of just still flows. The movie's a little bit longer for it, but it flows well. It doesn't feel like they just put them in for 15 minutes. Literally. In Avengers, no disrespect, but Hawkeye feels like a fill-in, and he's in the movie.
Yeah, he's
like, here's this guy.
Well, it's weird because it's like, okay, here's this guy, and he's supposed to be one of the main 6.
Yeah.
5, 6.
Something.
He's supposed to be one of the main core members. So, like, but he's like, he's mind controlled the whole time.
Yeah.
And also, like, in Thor, when they first, like, show him as, like, a cameo.
Yeah.
It's like, what is he even doing?
Yeah,
like,
he's like, I gotta take the shot. And it's like, why does this guy got a bow?
Yeah, I remember being like, okay, I think this is somebody. I don't know who this is. I don't read comics.
Because he had no flair at the time.
Right.
He was just some
military guy. Yeah. He's in it. Where's the Hawk? He's in his nest.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So I think Iron Man 1 is still up there as like one of the better MCU movies overall.
I like it too. We talked about this. They call him an Ironmonger once. They never call him Ironmonger. You notice in Phase 1, they tried to keep.
Well, I think they weren't fully like head into like the comic book thing.
Yeah, they didn't want to be fully superheroes.
Goofy, silly. Yeah.
So names weren't there. Iron Man at the end of that one was called Iron Man. But
it was like a Spider-Man, not Spider-Man. It was like a public given name, like they call me Iron Man. Technically, the suit's not made of iron; it's made of, you know. But he's like, it's catchy.
So they're still trying to ground it in the fact that because they want adults to go watch these movies, and Kevin Feige's like, if we can break into that and make it for adults, and they love it, we have a whole new audience to go to.
And that's, I mean, kids can't buy movie tickets. It's got to be the adults, so you got to get them sucked in first.
Yeah, because you take the kids, obviously you're getting tickets, but teenagers want to go, young adults want to go, people who don't have kids want to go because you see Robert Downey as Iron Man.
I think this hit at the right time where like we all embraced nerd culture around the same time.
Yeah, like Big Bang Theory was coming out.
Yeah, it was just like superheroes and comic books were becoming more cool.
Yeah, more mainstream.
Right, more mainstream. Like I think the early 2000s did a lot of that groundwork, like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yeah, Fantastic Four,
X-Men, obviously.
Yeah.
Like Blade, like all this kind of stuff. Not the Daredevil.
It was never mainstream with those movies, but yeah.
Not Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
Yeah.
That was dumb. There was a big like.
It wasn't dumb.
It was dumb. There was a big like.
Just keeps moving. Okay.
There was like an emo superhero phase for a while. We had Blades, Ghost Rider. There was
Daredevil.
one. Yeah, Daredevil's exactly.
The Punisher.
The Punisher was one of them. Yeah. And so there was like this whole. There was one or two movies. I think it was just one movie. It was Ghost Rider 2 was branded as Marvel Knights, and I'm like, oh, that's dope. Maybe they'll be like a sort of a shared thing.
It was such a bad movie.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
It was terrible.
And it was sort of like it was like low budget looking.
Daredevil was better.
It was better than Ghost Rider.
Because you had a completely different director, a different creative outlook he wanted on it.
Different,
all of it was just bad.
Yeah, I think there was fun stuff to be had. We're talking about Iron Man. Shouldn't.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool. Ghost Rider in the Iron Man suit. Now that would be awesome.
Oh, the Iron Rider.
That has to have happened, right?
The Iron Rider.
The Iron Rider. I would. Yeah, dude. Make it Marvel if you have. I'm sure they have.
Sick.
There's like a million versions of Ghost Rider. I guarantee you that's one of them.
Yeah. So early stage 1 or phase 1, and then 2 and 3 were in phase 2, I believe. I think they were both in phase 2. No. 2 was still phase 1. 3 was phase 2.
Yeah, because Iron Man
was right after the Avengers movie.
Before Avengers, and then
Iron Man 3 came out right after.
But
Avengers.
I think it was maybe still in phase 1.
because each Avengers marks the end of a phase.
No, because Spider-Man was still in phase 3 or whatever.
No, dude. I'm telling you, the Avengers marks the phases.
Spider-Man 2 was in the end of that one, though, right? No, Ant-Man came out, and that was still in phase 2. And
I don't care what you're saying. I know Iron Man 3 was phase 2.
Okay, I'll give it to you, I guess. But
we'll look at the timeline after this.
Honestly, the phases don't even matter. They all blend together.
I have no idea what phase we're in right now.
Yeah, 5 or I think we're on 6.
Wow.
4, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. But phase 1, phase 2, I think phase 3 is when they started branching out, which we wanted. We wanted that branch out because at that point they were still trying to do scientific stuff with like Wanda and like
Thor even was like, oh, you call it magic, we call it science.
And it's like
it can be magic.
It can be magic, but they were still like, okay, let's keep it here because we've got the audience. We want to keep them.
I think too, it's like, well, Iron Man works, so let's make everything grounded in metallic and sciencey.
Yeah.
Where like they could totally, I mean, like eventually they just get Doctor Strange and they're like, oh yeah, this is magic or mysticism.
Yeah.
So it's like they go full bore into that, but like. I guess they kind of, it's just like, oh yeah, you study and practice, but I guess it is mysticism. It's like a magic thing.
It's interesting too. Kevin Feige just said we're not doing secret identities. Everyone is just known. You know what I mean? It's not until we get Spider-Man that people have identities.
Spider-Man's the only one because that works Like
That's just Spider-Man.
has to be his character, yeah. Especially for Peter Parker, like 616.
But I think it
Spider-Man.
works for the movies. People like heroes, and it worked for us because Secret Identities. You get into my biggest beef with like the Christopher Nolan movies was the whole time he was Batman, he was struggling with two identities. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I want to see the hero.
But that's the character. Hero. That's every character. Like they need that like secret. They need to be like. Daredevil he needs to be the lawyer during the day and fight the crime in the courtroom, and then he fights the crime at night as the vigilante. I think that works really well for multiple heroes. And they don't need to like, I don't know, like with Iron Man, it's just like, okay, I guess he's Iron Man, so like he's a nuclear deterrent. He can just kill anyone that wants to. That's another thing too. They just kill. Like they be killing people.
He literally just.
He shoots out rock. Like he goes to like the Middle East or wherever they were at, and he like just takes like the Ten Rings is the group that's the terrorists that kidnapped him and put the stuff in his chest and all this stuff. He goes over there and he just wipes out a whole battalion of them or whatever.
And he has no qualms with it.
No,
you think that would mess you up?
He doesn't silent like we were talking about in Ben 10 a minute ago. Like they just silent. He comes in. He's just like focused. He's like, I'm gonna. I'm not even going to say anything. Normally I'm quippy, funny Iron Man. Like I'm quippy, funny Tony Stark.
But once he realizes what's going on, he's like, no. We're
dude, stuff and I love that scene where he's watching the news. He's like tuning up his arm, and it's just like glowing, and he's just like, he's going.
I love the special effects you get in like 1 and 2, and even 3. You don't see it later after the Iron Man movies. Later on in the Marvel universe, you don't hear the.
I'm sure it's a little bit in Avengers, but like it's never as important as it is in these movies.
The chest shot.
The unibeam or whatever.
You always get at least one unibeam in the movies. I thought you only saw it in the first movie, and then we realized, it's in every movie. At least one time.
It's like important in the first one, though.
Yeah.
And, like it should be like his mega move, Yeah. It's the Gum Gum Gatling kind of like finisher move. You don't get the reference.
I know who Luffy is. I understand the reference. Everything works with Robert Downey being Tony Stark.
We can talk about too, like his career was way in the dumps when this first movie came out. Like he did Tropic Thunder and then he did this. Like that was the next.
It was his comeback.
Well, I mean, like Tropic Thunder was like, well, my career's already over. Like he
might as well do it.
Honestly, yeah, he did. He did some pretty
controversial
now. Maybe, I'm probably at the time too. I don't know.
We were too young to realize if it was controversial.
Well, and I think it wasn't like no one cared as much about like politics in movies or like
Well,
I don't. I mean, the whole movie is a commentary on that.
Yeah.
So I guess it had to be.
It's on the nose
around.
kind of stuff,
right? But so he did that, and then he did Iron Man, and I think that was like he kind of got those two back to back, and then his career just exploded after that. I mean, he was in MCU movies for the next like 10 years, 10, 11,
still in them.
12. Well, he's not anymore, but this is like a really a rags to riches, sort of an Iron Man black sheep sort of story. Like
he was, I think he was on drugs.
He was on drugs. He was
not the best mental health.
He was in trouble for I think he was in trouble for fighting people or something.
Yeah,
I mean,
just a bad.
It could be slander, but I know for sure drugs were involved. Like he did Chaplin when he was younger, and that was like one of his.
Didn't Mel Gibson help get him out of his?
Probably.
I think he credits Mel Gibson or someone like that. Like, hey, thank you for getting me out of whatever happened.
I can see it.
But anyway, this was his comeback, and man, did he come back!
I think Kim Kardashian.
She had come her back. Well, she had come her back.
I love that so much. Anyway, but Robert Downey Jr. was the perfect choice for this. I couldn't imagine anyone else being Iron Man.
It's like Hugh Jackman with Wolverine.
Right.
You cast him, and you kind of mess up in the fact that you can never recast him.
Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 2?
No. No.
You hate Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yes.
I don't know why.
But you know why. We've discussed extensively.
I think it's like a fast food place you've been to many times.
It's not even like we discussed. The movie, the story, and the villains are great. I don't like Tobey Maguire, and I don't like Kirsten Dunst.
She is the weakest part of the films, and the romance is not very.
The
good.
romance is god awful.
Yeah,
and he is just cringy.
Let's talk about the romance.
He's not nerdy. He's cringy. Okay.
But it works for Spider-Man, dude.
It didn't work for
his
me.
Little quips
I was just like,
his little quips never really paid off.
They were too few and far between.
Yeah, it was like we tried doing it, but
yeah.
Anyway, but let's talk about the romance in the Iron Man movies.
A lot better, first of all.
I don't love Gwyneth Paltrow, but I like her as Pepper Potts enough.
Yeah, I think it works. Not talking about the actress as herself, but in the movie,
I'm saying like
good.
As an actress, like she does fine. Like she does what you need her to do.
Yeah.
And
she's not screaming as much as certain damsels
certain red-haired damsel in distress. But she kind of evolves as like his secretary at first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess he kind of catches feelings, but he doesn't say anything.
Yeah, there's definitely some tension in the first movie.
Will they, won't they? They don't really kiss or anything, I don't
No.
think.
They like lean into when she's like, I want a martini.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And then he goes away.
And I don't know, like, has he always felt that way about her? Is she just like the only competent woman? Like,
I don't think
circle?
I think it was him getting kidnapped to realize
Yeah.
the strength he got from leaning on Pepper.
Yeah. And Rhodey.
Yeah, and Rhodey for sure. But yeah, and then in the second movie, you start that's when by the end of it they're together.
Yeah, I think in the second movie they're smooching like by the end of it.
Yeah, they're smooching because he's like, get a roof.
Yeah. Rhodey's another.
Yeah,
we can talk
we'll
about
talk
that in a
about
minute.
him.
But
Oh, jinx.
no, you owe me a Coke.
Okay, cocaina.
Cocaina. So Gwyneth Paltrow, she doesn't have a lot to do like in the third one. Well, no, she does.
No,
Yeah,
she does a lot in the third one.
She didn't have a lot to do in.
She does a lot in pretty much all of them.
Okay, well, not in the first one really.
She's the one that turns on the arc reactor.
Oh
at
yeah,
the
and
end.
she gets the little thing in the. She puts
Yeah.
the little USB.
No,
in
yeah,
there.
I think she does pretty well in
Okay.
all three movies. I don't have any gripes with her at all in the movies.
Yeah, I like her a lot. I like
Yeah.
her, and like I think they have chemistry. It's sort of like a. I remember in Avengers being like, okay, they've really got chemistry here.
Yeah.
Like that scene where they're kind of flirting back and forth.
Yeah, or when they're like in the high rise and Coulson comes. And
Yeah,
tells them,
exactly.
That's perfect chemistry right there.
Where he's like, oh, you got homework.
Yeah,
Give him a call. Like it's cute.
It's
fun.
good. Yeah,
it's
it
very
works.
fun. I don't like that he's like hitting on people after like they already like kind of are sort of together.
is he?
He's hitting on like Black Widow, but I don't. It's
But they weren't together at that time yet. He was still talking to her.
I guess I don't know. I mean, if he's got feelings for her, I think he's had feelings for her for
Yeah.
a while, but he's
Obviously.
like, I want one.
Yeah.
That's what he says about
Yeah.
Natasha,
Well, I mean,
especially in that first movie, dude, or that
quiet.
Iron Man 2.
Yeah, the curls.
Yeah, that's the best look we were talking about.
Oh yeah,
I really enjoy what's his name, Phil. Happy.
Happy. Oh
Happy
yeah,
is so much fun.
we love Jon Favreau.
And he's the director, so he's like in it enough. Like he's not like fully in it, but in Iron Man 3, they're like, we're gonna put you in a coma.
Oh, yeah, but like at the beginning, he's like, oh, you're putting me in a coma. I'm gonna act out.
Yeah.
In the first,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what is it? What are they called? The first.
Like first act.
Yeah, the first act. He's like, hey, badge,
Yeah.
badge.
I like that they didn't like write him out because he wasn't directing anymore.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't direct the third one.
Shane Black directed the third one. And that's definitely a Shane Black movie if you watch it. And if you're familiar with Shane Black and stuff.
What else does he make?
He did The Predator, which I know you watched.
The funny one with Olivia Munn.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. We didn't talk about it enough. Obadiah. He has a presence
Yeah.
in the first movie.
It
Like
makes
Jeff
me
Bridges.
it makes me wish they didn't kill off villains, and that's an MCU problem in general.
It's a
like
big problem that MCU has.
Loki is one of the only ones they don't kill.
Yeah.
And then he becomes a hero in the end of it. So okay,
Watch Loki, by the way. It's out.
the
It's great.
first season, then I guess the second is
Second
season fully
season.
done.
I think they got one episode airing like this week.
I'm sure when this comes out, it'll be done.
Yeah, for sure. Watch it. It's great.
One of the better Disney Plus shows.
For sure. As far as let's talk about villains of the three, who do you like the most?
Definitely Obadiah. I don't like the villain in the third one at all. Like I think he's so just like
Bland.
Yeah, he's bland and like
He is pretty bland.
I don't like that they took away from the Mandarin because that's supposed to
Yeah.
be like Tony Stark's Doctor Doom. He's supposed to be one of the more intimidating villains of the MC, like the Marvel universe, like the Mandarin.
Yeah, but like
That's a funny bit.
It's a
We've talked about
funny
it. It's a
bit,
funny
bro.
bit. But if it was someone else, if it was
Ben
like
Kingsley as a prop Mandarin is peak comedy, dude.
honestly, that's the only reason I wasn't like super upset
Yeah.
about it because it is funny, and I do like what they did with. I do like what they did with that, but like what? Like, just give this guy a different name. Give
Yeah.
the,
Well, that was still the problem. Was the Mandarin had the 10 rings with the 10 powers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They were still kind of hesitant to do that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
we're
So
not
they were
going
like,
fully into it yet. Like now we have Shang-Chi and like
Yeah.
the Ten Rings. Like they would have done. They would have done.
I
If Iron Man
love-
came out now.
I love that movie, Hopper.
Yeah. Also, it's like sort of weird. He's like sort of an Asian stereotype, the Mandarin. So it's like, why do you like how do you navigate that? You don't want to make
Yeah,
him
but they
like,
made him Middle Eastern, and
yeah, I don't know.
it's weird.
It's weird to race swap characters like that, where it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, we don't want to. Like the ancient one in Doctor Strange was
Yeah.
supposed to be Tibetan, but
Dude.
that's sort of a touchy subject. So we
They
made her like a
There was so much uproar about the
Celtic
casting.
lady
Yeah.
instead.
There
Yeah.
was a lot of uproar.
But that's something you
Hoopla.
got to navigate. Just don't make him a racial stereotype like he was in the comics, but make him like a respected. Don't make his race like his whole thing, but
Yeah.
make him like
But his race can play a part in it.
he can. He's called the
Yeah.
Mandarin. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and
Like,
Shang-Chi, I mean, he was Asian,
Mandarin, yeah.
but he wasn't all I'm not even gonna. You know what?
Yeah, don't do it.
Not
Don't
even
worry
gonna.
about it. So I definitely don't think. What's the Aldrich Killian or whatever?
Yeah.
He's kind of boring.
But I really like Anton.
Anton, the second one.
Yeah,
He's pretty funny.
I really like him, man. Whiplash.
He's a mixture of Whiplash and the something else. I forget.
I don't know. But honestly, Justin Hammer in the second movie too.
Oh, dude, Justin Hammer is shame they don't
He
bring
is
him
a
back for anything.
beta soy boy.
He's so funny.
Yeah.
He
At one point, he's like, "Can we get these bitches out of here?" It's like Black Widow just gets him in an arm bar. He's like, "Tell us now." And he's like, "Okay."
Dude, Sam Rockwell's so underrated as an actor. He's like one of the best in the game right
He's
now.
awesome, dude.
I love him in everything
He's
he's
like,
in.
I call it the ex-wife.
Yeah. They have got to. If they're doing like an Armor Wars or something.
Yeah.
Throw him in. Doesn't
Please,
matter. Put him
We
in.
love Justin Hammer.
Listen,
Kevin Feige, if you're watching this, if you're one of our 121 subscribers, I'm begging you,
you put
him in.
You put in the Abomination and She-Hulk or whatever. Put in.
If you can put
Justin
that
Hammer.
in, you can make Justin Hammer happen.
I kept thinking like, well, the Abomination's not dead. He's gonna come back at some point. And I guess they never did any more Hulk
Such
stuff.
a disappointment the way they brought him back.
Yeah, well, I didn't see that. I didn't even watch
Yeah,
it.
don't.
I didn't even bother.
Don't do it. I wanted you to just because I needed someone to suffer the same. You know what I mean?
I think eventually, maybe we could do it for this. Make it just like a joke. Yeah,
I've already watched
you don't
it
need to
once.
rewatch it.
You know
Yeah.
what? For you, I'd watch it again.
Oh, thanks, brother.
Yeah.
We're gay. I think the second guy,
Anton, I don't know his other name.
it's Whiplash.
Yeah.
but it's Whiplash
Google it.
mixed.
I'll just keep talking.
Crimson Dynamo is what it is.
Oh yeah. But what's
It's
his
Whiplash.
actual name? Anton Balema.
I don't know.
Okay. His name's Anton.
Mickey Rourke is the actor's
Yeah,
name.
Mickey Rourke. We love Mickey
We're gonna
Rourke.
call him Mickey.
Oh, Mickey.
Oh, Mickey.
But he's a great villain, I think.
I think the idea for him is good. I don't think. I wish it was more Crimson Dynamo or Whiplash. Like make him one of the two. Like don't do like a weird hybrid.
Yeah. We talked. Oh no, go ahead.
Well, no, I just think like like the whole Iron Legion that he has at the end.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Really cool.
Use more of that.
He goes drone better.
Yeah. Use more of that. Do more threatening stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're gonna say like he was kind of held captive like Tony Stark was.
Yeah. I was gonna do the whole parallel, but I didn't want to interrupt your.
No,
show.
you go for it.
So we noticed in the first movie, Iron Man gets captured, Tony Stark, and they tell him build us this weapon, and he's a prisoner, and he's building a weapon, but he's not building their weapon. He builds his own weapon. He uses it to break out. We see a parallel. It's got to be intended. I don't know
for
how we
sure.
didn't catch it before.
It's-
I don't know
yeah.
if you caught it before I mentioned it.
I was a dumb child when I watched it.
Yeah, but in the second movie, it's almost like a reverse because Anton is in prison. Justin Hammer is like Tony Stark's rival.
It's like his business rival.
Yeah, and he sees him doing all that stuff, so he breaks him out. And he's not even like a prisoner. It's like a reverse of the first movie because he breaks him out of prison, brings him to him and says, "Hey, make me these weapons." And he goes, "Yeah, I'll do it." But then he doesn't do it. He makes his own weapon. And it's like a perfect mirror. I thought it was so cool when I caught it when we watched it back.
It is a good. It's
like
a
if
good.
that was whoever
parallel.
came up with that parallel was just like chef's kiss. That was perfect.
I think, and that's
It
what
was
I'm saying,
so
like, this
subtle.
movie-
It was so subtle.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think this movie, the bird thing, just
I went to my bird.
What are we doing? What are
I
we doing
like
with that?
it. I like it.
My bird. And the guy's just.
He's like, "Oh, you like the bird now? Was it your bird to begin? I don't know."
Yeah, look, I went through a lot of effort to get this bird for you. Not my bird. There's so much bird.
Take his shoes. Take his shoes from him.
Yeah. I don't know. We could. I mean, that's as far as like characterization goes. I didn't feel that generational trauma of like my dad helped your dad and he didn't get any recognition, and now I'm coming to like. Mess
Yeah, you
up.
see it at the very beginning. His dad dies, and he's like screaming and stuff. But
I
you
just thought-
never feel for him.
It was a little like
I
paper
feel for the
thin.
guy in the third movie more than I feel for this guy, and I didn't even like the guy in the third. He's probably the weakest of the three villains, but I felt for him more because of what Tony Stark did to him.
Well, it's just like we see this like jerky Tony Stark making enemies before he's even Iron Man.
Yes.
I like that. That's a theme, and that comes back in like Spider-Man 2.
I guess that probably would be the weakest point if we were to say a weak point for Iron Man is just the villains.
Yeah, but like Iron Man himself is so much fun. It's hard to disagree.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to notice that when you're
Right.
watching Iron Man. You're just like, this is fun.
It's a fun movie, and like it feels real.
Yeah, I told you like people love a good training montage, and somehow they turned training montages into building montages with Iron Man, and you're just as invested.
Oh yeah.
When he's tinkering and stuff, and there's music going, and he's just building the suits and stuff, you're just like, This is awesome.
Amazing. Oh, we can talk about music too. I love the AC/DC usage, and I guess it's more classic rock in general. I remember more AC/DC.
Yeah.
But there's like Black Sabbath, obviously, for the I Am Iron Man song. And I think there's some Led Zeppelin stuff, maybe. Yeah. But like in Avengers, when Iron Man comes, it's like, oh yeah, we're blasting like shoot through, like this is Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like it's almost tied to his identity. That completely goes away after Avengers 1.
It really does, dude. And that's such a good opening for introduce, because we're doing it interconnected, and the first time it's ever been done. So when you hear the music and you know Iron Man's coming,
dude,
and it's the same because when they're flying in the plane and you see the lightning, you know what I mean? And you're like, oh my god, here's Thor. Coming. So it's like
I love that scene where Loki is like standing above the guys and he's like, you will kneel, and he's like, you always kneel, and he goes, not to men like you.
Yeah,
there are no men like me. There's always men like you, dude. Oh, it's so good.
Avengers was such a good,
a good. I don't know. Joss Whedon's got his own. Like people feel their own way about him, but that first one is so solid. Yeah. There's maybe a couple sex jokes that they didn't need in there.
Yeah,
but this is so solid.
Yeah, it's such a great movie. But so villains. Okay, let's talk about Rhodey.
Oh yeah.
So we had. I think his name was Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard
was the first one. He's good. Didn't really hate him or anything.
He didn't leave too much of impact. I mean, he was good.
He was serious.
Yeah, I mean, he's funny.
He could have been a good Rhodey. I think the problem is that we had so much Don Cheadle that it's hard to say.
It's hard to look back and think what it would be like with.
Because we can say, oh, he's bad compared to Don Cheadle, but he doesn't have the same chance as Don Cheadle.
And I don't know. I like Terrence Howard. He's done fine for himself. He was on the Empire show.
Yeah, rocked it there apparently.
Apparently, I'd never watched it, but that sounds like a diss. I don't care.
Yeah. No, we're not dissing Empire.
No, it's fine.
My girlfriend watches. She loves it.
Probably good. Yeah. But like as far as Iron Man goes, I think he's the secondary character. He's not like the man. That was the whole issue, right? Like he wanted more money.
Yeah, he was wanting to be paid the same, and it's like, And the thing is like the first movie is about setting up Tony Stark anyway, so we don't get to really explore Rhodey until the second movie.
He's sort of like he's like his liaison to like the military or something. And then at that point, like high
ranking too. He's a colonel.
Oh yeah, he is. But like in the second movie, it's like, okay, we need a suit, Tony. We need a suit because like the government's breathing down their back, and then he just steals the suit. And he's like, okay, my suit. But like you see that Tony Stark is becoming a little bit.
He thinks he's dying, so he actually gave it to Rhodey because he trusted Rhodey.
Oh sure, I mean anyone else he would have tracked it down and got it.
Yeah.
But it's Rhodey.
But I love it too when he first walks in number 2 and they see him. He goes, "Oh, Rhodey, yes, it's me. Can we move on?" It's literally Don Cheadle saying, "Yes, it's me. I'm here. Can we move on?" Like
we're
literally
not far
telling
enough
the
into
audience.
We're not far enough into the series for you to care about who the actor was.
Like it wasn't even like it fits in the movie, but it's literally him telling the audience, "Yeah, okay, we know. Okay, let me do it now."
Oh, dude, I love that courtroom scene in that second movie.
So good.
Where he's like,
is that Justin Hammer? That pilot ended up living.
What about the Iron Man effects where like every MCU main character becomes Iron Man? Like they just act like Iron Man.
What do you mean?
Like Paul Rudd's Ant-Man, people say that he acts like Iron Man. Doctor Strange acts like Iron Man. He's cocky. He's sort of a jerk. He quips a lot. Like that's the characteristics for most.
I would say Paul Rudd's Ant-Man.
I think I think right off the bat, like Thor is different. Thor feels different. Captain America feels different. But like Hawkeye, he's quippy and he's
I would say Hank Pym feels like Iron Man, but
That's
I would
fair.
say
who? Oh, Scott Lang.
Scott Lang doesn't give off Iron Man vibes.
Leaving all that in.
He's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
He quips, but that's just Paul Rudd.
I guess. Well, maybe like Star-Lord too. People were saying he's like Iron Man.
He's quippy. I don't think he thinks he's better than people. He's just making a living.
That's fair. I don't know. I think
there are some, but I think they're different in enough of a way because Doctor Strange he's more haughty and arrogant than Iron Man. Like he's arrogant, but he's not like I'm literally like in a more mean way. He's arrogant. Stephen Strange is.
I liked because in the beginning it was like he was being really strange. He was being mean to like Christine, Amy Adams' character.
Yeah.
He was being really mean to her, and he's like, "Oh, I don't need." He's like, "Oh, yeah, you just think I'm a pity project." I don't even. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I like this like jerk. Like I want to see him become a hero." But like the rest of the movies, you sort of like him all the way through.
Yeah.
And Iron Man, like I mean, he's sort of a he's a. We don't really feel that he's a jerk. We kind of like him because he's cocky and funny the whole time.
He's who you want to be, the billionaire playboy philanthropist. You know what I mean?
Yeah. As far as arcs go, I think he has the most complete arc in the whole series.
Yeah.
The whole universe.
Because in the first one, it's about redemption from his company.
Right.
He's like, oh, my company is actually really bad, and I've profited, off of this. And the second one, he's really faced with his mortality and his cockiness.
Yeah, and it's a lot of like generational stuff too. It's a lot of like, I need to carry on this legacy of my father.
What is my legacy? Who am I leaving behind? And then the third one, it's the cockiness is in all three. That's a main thing he has to struggle with.
The third one's more of like, it's more of like a anxiety thing. Yeah. He's going through anxiety.
He's not the biggest guy on the playground kind of thing.
Right, and it's sort of it doesn't necessarily work unless you've seen Avengers. You know what I mean? Like we were watching with one of our friends, and he hadn't seen
anything.
Well, he hadn't seen any of the Marvel stuff, so he was just. I think he maybe seen Iron Man 1.
Maybe.
And we're watching, watching through them, and then we get to the third one, and he was kind of lost because he's like, "Oh, what's happening?"
Yeah.
It's like the little kid.
Like, there was an alien invasion. He's got PTSD from it.
He shot a nuke into a black hole and
almost
killed a bunch
died.
of aliens.
Thought he was gonna die.
Yeah, so it's
ate shawarma.
Which I do like the shawarma.
Okay, yeah.
My brain
I don't think I've ever
processed
had shawarma.
Is
that like Indian?
I think it's like a Greek thing or something. I don't know. I'm talking out of turn. I have no clue.
Oh, okay. Out of pocket.
But no, I like that they kind of explore that character to that bit.
Yeah.
And you see, like Pepper is starting to have problems with him being a superhero. She's like, "Why are you building all these Iron Man suits? Like, what's the problem?"
Yeah, just come to bed.
Right, just come to bed. Like, why are you so freaking out?
And he's not really telling her the full story of like, I'm literally anxious. I can't go to sleep. You know, because there is a part where he kind of tells her, and she's just like, for me, she's not understanding enough.
Yeah.
Like your boy just saved the world, with help. Got rid of a nuke and aliens and stuff, and he's terrified now that he can't keep you safe. And so he accidentally has a suit of armor that attacks you. Like, that's traumatizing, but put yourself in his shoes. He's terrified he can't protect the one thing he loves,
That's a scary scene, too.
Yeah.
Like the Iron Man suit's like, "Are you messing with Tony Stark?"
Yeah. She goes, "I'm going to sleep on the couch. Tinker with that." And I'm like, you need to be more supportive, in my opinion. The guy's struggling and he needs help.
Well, he did give their address out to like
he hadn't done it yet.
A terrorist.
That was after.
I thought that was beforehand.
Hadn't happened yet.
I don't know.
Editor
will not put that up. He doesn't care.
How do you don't speak for the editor?
Okay, if you say so.
We need to hire more editors, man. This one's getting a little lippy. Tell him he's expendable.
Okay,
real quick.
It's gonna be you recording and having nothing.
Hey guys.
Just by yourself.
I've got like my phone is my microphone. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like she could have been more understanding or tried to do help or something.
I think you definitely feel the MCU baggage with the third one though. Like, the first two are total like it's 1 to 2, and that feels like a very natural progression. 3 is very much a piece in a larger puzzle. And I think the first two are as well, but like they're the beginning of that puzzle, so you can watch them without watching anything else. Mm-hmm. It's not like you need to watch like 2 seasons of a show to figure out who this character is that comes in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of complaints with the new Marvel's movie. That's
really?
Because you got to watch WandaVision to know who Rambo is.
That came out today.
Did it?
No, it comes out the 11th. I'm dumb.
Okay. Well, you gotta watch WandaVision to know who the
Rambo.
Spectrum, is that her name?
I don't know.
It shouldn't be Spectrum. That might be
bad.
Autistic.
Yeah.
That might be autistic imagery coming to mind.
I don't know.
Then Kamala Khan, she's got like her whole series, so you gotta watch that to know who she is.
Yeah.
And unless they just but that's not how they've been doing it. They've been like introducing you that character in that movie.
We'll have to see it.
I'll have to see it.
I think they can do it, but there is a lot of bloat now.
It just feels like
when you have a connected universe, the problem is that some things come out way too long later, Because I remember I was watching one of our previous podcasts that came out, and I was complaining about watching Ant-Man 3, and I couldn't remember anything from Loki because it happened like a year ago.
Yeah.
And I genuinely couldn't remember any of it. And so, I had to rewatch Loki to watch the second season. Yeah. It was a good season. Season 1 was good. It was just I couldn't remember anything from it.
We've seen so much of it, we kind of phased out of it.
Yeah, because you have to remember the next one and the next one. So, we could go on and on about the bloat of the MCU, but
we don't feel that in this first couple movies.
You don't.
They're kind of sensitized now. Mm-hmm. Like they're really, like, 'cause we've mentioned this before on the pod. like they try to appeal to the widest audience.
Yes.
And this movie feels very specific. It feels like it's very like
it's about Iron Man.
And Iron Man is like a fun character that people like.
Even number 3 is about Iron Man. You just have to know that there was the Avengers movie. It doesn't do anything forward. It just does you have to know Avengers. So even then, you just need to have watched one extra movie than you're expecting.
Well, besides the 3.
But then instead of watching Iron Man 1 and 2, you need to know Iron Man 1, 2, and the Avengers. So it's one extra.
But then to watch the Avengers, you need to watch Captain America, Thor, the Hulk. Like you need to watch all these movies to get that movie too.
I mean, but at that point, if you're watching an ensembles movie, you have watched the other ones.
Be honest here. Had you seen movies like the other MCU movies before Avengers?
Yeah.
You had?
Yeah.
So you watched them all before Avengers?
Yeah.
So you were caught up all?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't watch Iron Man.
Here's the dilemma, right? If you're just watching Iron Man movies, you're mad that you now have to watch the Avengers and all the other stuff. If you're watching the Avengers, you know what you have to do it. You already know what you're going to expect. But if you say, I only like Iron Man, now you're mad because you have to watch all these branch stuff. But if you're watching the Avengers, you're in it for the whole ride because you want to watch it. You know what I mean?
That's fair. I don't think I'd seen Thor and I'd seen Captain America and I'd seen the first Iron Man, but
you didn't watch Iron Man 2?
I don't think I'd seen Iron Man 2.
Why? It came out right after Iron Man 1.
I don't think it
was like the only time you get a sequel before any other movie came out.
I know. I don't think I knew much about it. So I didn't know who Black Widow was. I had no clue about Nick Fury. I had none of that. But it still worked as a movie fine. Like I knew the characters because I played games.
Because there's not that
stuff.
many characters in it yet.
Right. Right. Pause to breathe.
We both breathed this.
I know. Need to breathe.
I like Don Cheadle as Rhodey. He really steals the show in number 2. He's got a lot of personality.
I think he works well in these movies. I think in the third one he's kind of catchphrase man.
Yeah.
He's like, you can breathe fire. Yeah. I was at that point. I was like, okay, what do you like?
Yeah.
This is
a lot of one-liner quips.
He's gonna kill you. You don't joke about it. You know.
Yeah.
And I think I feel that specifically in Avengers 2 where he's like, drop the tank on his doorstep.
See, I was gonna say I like that because if he tells this to anyone else, it's a good story.
No, that's a good bit. I like that bit, but it's just it's like I don't know. Rhodey doesn't need to be like bullied all the time or something.
Yeah.
Like Rhodey needs to find his own way besides just being like Iron Man's friend.
Yeah, but I don't know. I
like him. I think he's a good addition, especially in like the second and third ones where he gets the suit. Like Iron Patriot is really a fun bit.
He said War Machine, or he's like Iron Patriot did good in testing.
Yeah, he's like, what's the password? War Machine rocks with an X.
And then someone tried to laugh, and he pointed his gun at him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like there's a bit in the third one. It's like, I will break his face. Yeah. I'm just like, you don't do that.
Yeah,
it's not intimidating. It's not really funny. What are you doing?
We have to talk about Iron Man saving everybody in number 3, where he connects them all. He's like, you ever watched or is like Lincoln Monkeys or whatever it's called?
Barrel full of monkeys.
Barrel full of monkeys. He gets them all like interconnected, slows down their momentum, and then he just drops them into the ocean.
And he like shocks their hands so they can't let go.
Yeah, dude.
Super
so cool.
Inventive, creative.
Yeah, so good.
Some of the action scenes, because that's a big part of these movies too.
So the first one doesn't have a lot of action. It has a lot of flying.
I like. Well, it sort of builds up to the action, which is it feels earned. Like you get this, kind of not long necessarily, but it's long enough to where you can kind of get to know Tony and get to know the professor that's helping him guy. And it's so. I mean, I did feel bad. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go see my family after this," and like his family is dead.
Yeah.
And that's so heartbreaking. He's like, "I'm going to see my family." Like, the scene feels earned essentially.
Yes.
Like whenever he comes out in this big bulky iron suit. Jensen, thank you. What was his first name?
Ho.
That's what it was. It was like that's a total Asian name.
Ho Jensen.
But they didn't want to go Asian with it, so they're just like
Dr. Jensen.
I think too. This was like the story was written like for the Vietnam era, but this is upgraded to more like the War on Terror era.
Yeah, it's like when we watch Red Dawn.
Right.
Before it's
Russia.
Yeah.
And now it's North Korea.
Now it was North Korea at the time.
It could have done Russia again. Russia's always the
Russia's always. Yeah. The first movie, it's a lot of build up to the
first like.
The first fight, you get, but like action for me is more when the two are fighting each other.
Yeah,
Well,
even like when he goes to
you could classify Iron Man as an mecha anime.
You wouldn't, but you could.
You could.
Yeah, you could say that. There's obviously the Ironmonger fight. I don't like. I mean, it starts out okay, but like, I don't like that he's like big hulking. Like he just starts
everything got bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill you.
He's got, he just chain guns on his arms.
Right, and he's like, and he said, quit moving around.
Yeah.
His targeting system was broken.
Yeah, he literally like took fly. It's like he's an actual rocket.
Yeah.
His legs have to change and stuff to get his mass up in the air and stuff.
And then he like has like a second booster or something probably.
And it's cool too. It puts Iron Man on a clock too because he's using the outdated chess piece.
He gets like
Arc
another
reactor. He used the one he made in the cave.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, this one wasn't supposed to do this, you know? So it's a cool fight. The number 2, Iron Man 2, does it have a subtitle name? Do any of the Iron Mans have subtitled?
I don't think so.
So Iron Man 2, there's a lot more action.
Yeah.
And when he's racing in Italy.
He meets Elon Musk and he gets on the
he fights there.
racetrack.
He fights Rhodey at his birthday party.
Yep.
To a sick beat. He goes, drop my sick beat.
Yeah. They have a nice setup payoff moment. Like they set up the repulsors clashing with each other, making a big explosion.
Which leads into the final fight of the movie where they do that to Fry Whiplash.
And
then that whole fight scene was fun.
Oh yeah, that was really, really. It felt like anime to me. Like
they were flying around, killing them and stuff, and then they land. He goes, and they're arguing. He's like, "You can't be down here, Tony. This is the kill box. Okay, you can't be here. I'll go up there and
we
you
need
to
the
go
big
here."
gun on the top.
Yeah, he's like, "I literally have a big gun. You're not the big gun." And then they all just boom, boom, boom. Yeah. It's sick. It's so
like back to back, brothers in arms. Here we go. They're fighting.
You love a good back to back fight,
dude.
scene.
And it's like unapologetic. Like it's like some of the best action in the MCU. I would say. Like it's just so much fun. Like right away.
Oh, so good. And then he does the laser thing to end it all.
Oh yeah, he's like, get down.
Yep. And then here comes Whiplash. Huge. Again, he has to be big.
Huge. And the third movie feels like there's a lot of action.
You bring in the Legion at the end, but you've got the guys too. The girl and the guy, the ball guy, and then the girl who was missing an arm.
Yeah, like
both of them have really crazy. And it's so cool too because half those fights he's not even in a suit. Yeah. It's just showing how he's very ingenuitive.
That's where Shane Black comes in as a director. It makes it more like realistic fighting.
Yes.
Like it's he's using he's like MacGyver at that point. Yeah. He's like mixing chemicals together and throwing them. And he's like putting the person's dog tags in the microwave and then exploding the building. What I don't like about the action scenes, I guess this is more a villain problem because the action is fun and it's good. Mm-hmm. What I don't like is that they regenerate the villains, but they don't. It's not clear what they can regenerate from.
Yeah, so she gets blasted. She gets blown up, shot, blasted. She regenerates. Yeah. But she gets landed on power lines after an explosion, and she doesn't regenerate.
Okay.
The guy literally gets there was a ground zero explosion, and he heals from that. But then Tony shoots him through the chest. And he doesn't regenerate.
He does a unibeam or something. So
he goes, grow that back.
Only his heart can not regenerate.
I guess I'm not sure. It is very.
Maybe you need your heart to pump blood to get your something. I don't.
Maybe
they could have been like, Tony, watch out! If you don't hit their heart, they'll come back.
Yeah.
He could.
Killian could have been like, it's just the heart, you know.
Yeah.
Like a vital, complaining. Maybe have you got the heart problem fixed? You know, something
like that.
It's not very clear. They just kind of kill who they need to at the right time.
But it is fun. Like he's sort of working without a suit, and I kind of think that's the mark. I mean, it's a cliche at this point to be like the superhero doesn't have their powers. Like in the Wolverine, when he gets the little thing on his heart, he can't regenerate. The shooting fire out of your breath, whatever villain,
out of your breath,
fire breath man. Yeah. I think that's an okay idea,
Aldrich,
but
Killian.
Use him more. Like why?
Yeah, he did that, and he was.
Use him more. What are we doing?
Whoa,
just not.
Whoa. He's like, he shoots fire.
You breathe fire now. You breathe fire.
Oh, okay, I'll come quietly.
I guess I'm done.
They kill him by putting him in an Iron Man suit and blowing it up.
Yeah.
How brutal.
Does that work?
Tony Stark does not care. Do you know what I mean?
He's a killer.
Put him in the incinerator.
So technically, he's been selling, military weapons that have been killing people for decades at that point. But whatever. It's fine. If I was to run, the Iron Legion fight though is awesome.
He's calling in the cavalry,
dude. And I kind of don't like. This was criticism I remember hearing from people in high school when the third one came out.
Yeah,
it was I thought Iron Man was Tony. Like he needs the suit on to be Iron Man. But all these Iron Man suits are flying around doing their own thing. It kind of takes away from it.
I guess, but at the same time, they're programmed to do basic things. It's not like they're doing a lot.
I get it, but I think that is an element of criticism.
It's also weird that the main thing in number 3, the reason he doesn't have his suit is because it's out of juice.
Yeah,
but it's powered by the arc reactor in his chest.
Yeah, I don't like.
Is it because they each individually have to fly to him, so they're not connected to it, so they have their own power source?
Like a backup battery or something?
Yeah.
And we talked about that
but
too.
If it's on him, it shouldn't be out of power.
Right. And
because
so
the arc reactor generates power.
That's a problem for all of the suits too. It's like if he just doesn't have power, does he die?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It burns out the core, like his.
Well, it did in the second one, but he fixed it for the third.
And so in the third one, it's like at that point, it's like, why do we even have a battery thing?
Yeah. power at all.
It's all just ultimate power. And they don't really bring that up. They don't really have that element to it again. But like I said, like you need, like in the first Iron Man, he's fighting without some of his suit. Like he's taking off his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's trying to do the repulsor and it doesn't go,
Or in Civil War.
Oh, yeah. He's like,
Bucky's like brainwashed. He turns his watch into an Iron Man hand.
That's dope.
So cool.
Anyway, but I think the third one, just for that last fight scene, honestly. Well, the second one's got a lot of good action too.
Yeah, no, that's why maybe the third one is the weakest. I just remember the second one being super long.
Yeah, it did feel longer than it should have.
Yeah.
I think there's the whole. They're
Number
trying to
3
set
was
up
a Christmas movie, confirmed.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. He plays Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that what he sings?
I don't know.
Or is it Santa Claus coming? Something like that.
I don't know.
He's like dancing and he's flexing his muscles.
Oh yeah, what was it?
It's some Christmas song.
I don't know, but he's like snapping.
Getting it, yeah. Anyway,
he was muscled.
He's kind of muscled.
Yeah,
he's not like big over the top muscle, but he's he's enough to where he can fight crime.
And I do like each movie he learns something new and he's a better person as a whole.
Yeah,
at the end of each movie,
he kind of like he regresses. Like at Civil War, I mean, he quits the Avengers at least twice, right?
Yeah.
Like he quits. He's like, oh, I'm not Iron Man anymore. At the end of the Avengers, Avengers 2, he's like, I guess I'm not Iron Man anymore. Civil War, here he is back. Or no, Homecoming, here he is back again. It's just like he's back and back.
Yeah.
And so I think back in black, and I think Civil War he's having marital problems, right? Like maybe not marital problems, not married yet, but they have spouse problems.
I don't know.
I think it's Civil War.
Oh no, I thought it was Avengers 2. No, it wasn't Avengers 2. That was Thor.
Yeah,
someone. But
I
don't know. Yeah, it's just hard to get. He probably kept wanting to, but then you just can't.
Yeah,
the fans want RDJ. I have a friend who says I only watched the superhero movies because of Iron Man.
Yeah,
that's all I watched it for.
Well, I mean, he is the best character in my opinion, like throughout the whole series.
Yeah, he's the most consistent,
and he's the most fun to watch too. Like he's the original character. Like everything after him is just kind of. I mean, I think Captain America 2, like he's fun, but he's not Iron Man levels of fun.
No.
Yeah. If we're gonna rank them,
the Iron Man movies,
yeah.
Number 1 has to be top.
Yeah, for sure.
I think 2 and then 3. Are you saying 1, 3, 2?
I don't know. I think 2 is actually better than 3.
I think so. I think it's 1, 2, 3.
I like
3 is good. I mean, like we said, the Mandarin, the whole Ben Kingsley being a prop.
I like the detective work in 3 too.
Yeah,
like he's like in Tennessee, just random Tennessee, and he has to like
Well, he did like the whole floor thing too. He's like, "What are you staring at?" Happy after the explosion.
It's detective. I mean, he does like and I like that he you don't really see a lot of like him interacting with just like random people. But
but the kid,
is fun,
and the guy in the news van.
Yeah,
he's like, "Is anyone else going to come in this van?"
I would not let anyone. He's like, I've modeled my whole look after you.
Yeah. He goes, "This is you." Oh, cool.
As far as Stan Lee cameos go, where do we rank them?
Because so you got Hugh Hefner in number 1.
Peak.
Well, I'm just listing them so we know.
I would say it's peak.
Number 2,
he's Larry King.
He was, hey, Larry King, how you doing?
That's pretty funny. Not as funny as Hugh Hefner.
I don't think so. And then number 3.
It was just the general who was like doing the beauty contest. He was like a beauty contest.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be Hugh Hefner,
it's got
Larry King, just because he's Larry King, and then the general.
That's sort of a, like in Guardians, they call Stanley a pervert because he's talking to some young lady.
Oh, really?
He's like, Class A prevert.
My God.
So that's a running theme now.
The Stan Lee cameos are...
Oh, he's in Deadpool. He's like a strip club announcer guy.
Yeah, he's just gone. He's gone now, though, is the thing, and that's the sad part.
I know, but we get these cameos to enjoy them. Both.
Yeah.
Do you like Stan Lee cameos in movies?
I love Stan Lee cameos.
Do they take you out of the movie at all?
No.
I feel like they take me out of it a bit.
They don't take me out. That, for me, that's part of the Marvel experience.
Yeah, I mean, up until, I guess, Endgame was his last one, probably.
I think so.
Because they go back in time and he's like a hippie kind of guy.
Yeah, make peace, not war.
Yeah.
Was that an Endgame?
Yeah, it was when they go back to get the pin particles from
yeah.
whatever.
Then that's got to be the last one he was in.
I think so. I think Captain Marvel was the last one he filmed.
Yeah,
but Endgame
because she sees him, and
he's reading his like Mallrat script.
Yeah, and she just kind of smiles and like walks away.
Yeah,
because that's where you got the tribute to him too. Was in that movie.
Rest in peace, Stan Lee.
An icon.
And
yeah.
But it's a good movie. Good movie series.
Yeah, would definitely recommend it. Obviously, you guys have probably seen it. If you're watching our channel, you've probably seen it.
Right. I mean, we didn't even like detail to go over it. So
no, it's just talking.
This is just us beyond binging, I guess.
It's talking about the movies. They're great movies.
Yeah, I think it definitely warranted like more like this one.
Just standalone films.
Yeah, right. I think
like
we
another
could've-
trilogy, probably.
I think we could have had more Iron Man. Like I needed more Iron Man after the third one.
Yeah.
The third one's a good.
Maybe
wrap
take like
up.
a break while he's doing all this other stuff, but then like come back later in the phases and do
Right.
an Iron Man 1 or 2 movies,
Right.
maybe 2.
I would have liked at least one more, like because
Yeah.
Thor's getting 4 movies.
Thor's getting 5, I think.
They're making.
I think that he said if you want to do another one, I'm down to do another
Yeah.
one, but it better be the last one or you better be doing something good.
Well, they're doing another Captain America, but it's also not the same
What?
character.
Oh.
New World Order or like.
Oh, but it'll be like Sam.
It'll be Sam. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's fine. I mean, that doesn't really count in like the Steve Rogers trilogy.
Yeah.
But
I think Steve Rogers' as a trilogy was fine, though.
it was fine.
Again, he doesn't have the presence of RDJ.
Honestly,
we want more RDJ.
That's the first one where like they get better as they go. I
Mhm.
think, and you can even argue the second one's better than the third one. But I think it's
Ooh.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 for sure. Because Civil War is just...
It's hard.
That's
to beat
what you
that.
want as a movie of an interconnected universe, is you want all these heroes showing up doing things.
And it gives Captain America a little bit of a.
Because, I mean, it was like an Avengers light.
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
for sure. I
And
mean,
that's-
honestly,
That's what I feel like all the movies should be.
well, because you get the question of like why, like in Iron Man 3, it's like why didn't we call Steve or
Yeah,
Natasha?
at least one person.
Why didn't we call Nick Fury to come
Yeah.
help? You know, I do think that the third one kind of gives Steve like an interesting, like it puts him in a different light,
Mm-hmm.
and that's always cool.
Yeah.
Because Captain America has no arc up until that point.
Yeah,
and then
because
he
he's
kinda
already a
gets something.
good person.
Yeah,
How do you
and
go
that's-
from good to something different?
right.
You know?
We talk about it in Ben 10 sometimes. Where like it's hard to give Ben an arc just because like it's a 22-minute thing, so it's like
Yeah.
hard to give him something. But Captain America is the character that you don't want to change. Like he's the steadfast, like
Yeah,
perfect
he is.
guy.
Yeah, keep him the way he is.
He's the standard.
That's just part
yeah.
of him.
Mhm.
But yeah, definitely recommend Iron Man if you haven't watched it, or rewatch it. Go watch
go
the series
rewatch it.
again. It's so good. You'll catch things you missed the first time.
You'll remember why you like Marvel movies.
Yeah, you really will. It's like it's just like a trip down memory
There was
lane.
like girls in bikinis, and I'm like, oh, they would never put girls in bikinis
Yeah.
in new movies.
Oh yeah, there was like a softcore like sex scene at the beginning of the
yeah,
first movie.
exactly. Yeah.
You would never see that now in Marvel.
No characters have sex. Everyone's all
Hunky dory. Yeah.
Everyone's all desensitized.
Yeah.
And like Barbie and Ken
Yeah.
dolls down.
It was
smooth
so
down
funny too because they were literally she hated him
Yeah.
and he somehow still got in bed with her.
It's just the charm. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the Iron Man charm.
There you go.
But yeah, that wraps up this episode. I hope you guys like it. It's a little bit different than what we usually do, but
We'll do more of these. Where
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just like
we ain't
selected
stopping.
series. I think
Yeah.
we're watching Gen V right now, so that
oh
might
yeah,
be the next
stay
one. we
tuned.
do.
That is, I've got a lot to say about that one.
Crazy show.
Crazy show,
The
but
boys
good.
in general, nuts.
Nuts, but so good.
Yeah, honestly, it's like heart pounding. Like I'm glued to the screen anytime it's on.
Oh
There's no looking at the phone. Nothing.
yeah,
Like I'm just
we were
saying
watching
that.
2 of them, and I was like, "Are we watching a third one?"
Yeah, like we
Are
could do another one.
Yeah, we
It's like
doing it?
midnight. We're like, oh, we could do another
We
one.
could do it. But yeah, stay tuned for that one. We've got some more to come, so we'll see you guys next time.